let's go on vacation in Taiwan. Yay!
Let's go. It's our spring break and we're gonna travel through Taiwan for 6 days. It's gonna be really packed and stressful because we have lots of different things to see.
So we packed our things and headed to the meeting point. But the earthquake messed up our scheduled plan.
Luckily, we all were safe and nothing happened. We just got away with a little shock because it was the first time that we all experienced the earthquake.
We rented a van to go around Taiwan. If you want to do this, you need to have an international driver's license.
Luckily for us, one guy out of our group managed all the bookings.
So let's start driving. We were all super excited. We learned quickly that you need to be aware of cultural differences, especially regarding to driving styles.
Throughout our trip, we made different stops at different spots. First off, we stopped at a really beautiful viewing point, really close to Taipei, and encountered a wild snake. At the end, we discovered that the snake was really dangerous.
If you don't have lots of time, it is really convenient to rent a car or a van. You have the possibility to see awesome places like this waterfall here, or we just stopped at a little village to have lunch. We would have never passed that if we would go by train. Getting out of the comfort zone and going on a trip with people you barely know is also a super interesting adventure you can find yourself in if you're willing to do so.
If you have enough time, you can also take the bus and travel around Taiwan. And you can see as many things as we did in our spring break. Especially the landscapes are so beautiful. After a long day of driving, around 6 or 7 hours, we finally arrived at our destination. For dinner, we had delicious hot pot.
Day 2 rolls around. After the breakfast, we went on a hike. And let me tell you, it was super exhausting because it took us 2 hours and there were only stairs.
Not only the hiking took our breath away, but also this beautiful landscape we had at the top of the mountain.
After this amazing experience, we headed to Sun Moon Lake and it took us about 2 to 3 hours.
Our first stop was the Wenwu Temple in the Sun Moon Lake. It was so big and beautiful. We really liked it there. In 1919, there were 2 temples located in the Sun Moon Lake. They had to be torn down because of the Japanese hydroelectric power system that caused the lake's water level to rise. After the 2 temples were torn down, they decided to combine the resources to only build 1 temple, which is now the Wenwu Temple. This Wenwu Temple was also rebuilt again in 1969. An interesting fact is that the Wenwu Temple is the only Confucius temple in Taiwan that keeps its central door open to the public.
You should definitely bring some more time to enjoy this beautiful temple, its architecture, the history and the landscape. The Sun Moon Lake is one of the top tourist attractions in Taiwan, and if you bring some more time, you can actually go there on a biking tour, which is highly recommended since it's one of the most beautiful places to ride the bike.
We decided to instead rent some pedal boats and pedal around the lake in the hope of seeing a stunning sunset, but we had some time pressure and that's why we had to go on and keep driving to our next destination.
Everyone was super hungry at that point, so we went to a super local restaurant close to Alishan.
We stayed at a really cute Airbnb in a small village. Breakfast was also included.
We strolled around the village. We were looking for a coffee shop.
Morning.
Everyone was super kind.
Vanessa and Joanne taught us some Taiwanese words that would be pretty useful for our trip because we will come across a lot of indigenous regions.
We also tried to practice our Chinese.
A Bing is ice.
We are trying, but we still need to use some Google Translate. But everyone is so kind and helpful, so we don't feel that much pressure.
They understood us when we talked in Taiwanese, but they also showed us how to say it in their native indigenous language. Mi-ho-mi-san, thank you. We made our way again towards Alishan and came across some breathtaking scenery.
A little planning in between also helped us, seeing all the things we saw. Going from one place to another, we always had a route on Google Maps, and during our drive there, we always had a look if there is something nice we could stop by.
All in all, Google Maps is pretty accurate.
Because of our planning, we went on this little walk inside of the woods, and we stopped by this super old and really nice tree.
1,600 years.
As usual on our trip, we had time constraints and headed to Alishan Recreation Park because we had a lot of things ahead of us. In the National Recreation Area, we saw a lot of different things.
As we went more south in the country, it was hotter each day.
Now we're heading to a viewpoint where we can see the Yushan, also known as Jade Mountain, the tallest peak in Taiwan. When we were up there, we were all so sweaty because it was so humid and hot.
Be aware of the wildlife in Taiwan. There are so many monkeys living out there. Please do some research beforehand so everybody can be safe.
We are on our way to Kenting And on our way, we saw the lovely tea fields of Alishan. Also, it was quite foggy on the way down. A couple hours passed by driving through Taiwanese mountains and passing by palm trees.
We finally arrived at our destination in Kenting.
For the first time, we all slept together in one big room. It was really cozy. After Taiwanese breakfast, I only have to say, good job.
We are on day 4 already. We drove along the coast and then we had a quick stop at Long Pan Park. We really enjoyed that we had an AC because it was extremely hot. Since it's close to the midterms, we needed to get some schoolwork done. Some of the group members already went out surfing, but we joined them afterwards.
We are now on our way to Taidong, where we arrived pretty late.
Even though we wanted to catch the sunrise in the morning, so we went straight to bed.
We woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning to catch the sunrise.
Unfortunately, it was really cloudy, but we still enjoyed the waves and the quietness.
As we woke up so early, we had a lot of time left for the day. So you took the car and went to the Sanqiantai Arch Bridge.
It was designed in the shape of waves, like a prostrate sea dragon. And here we can introduce the Taiwanese weather to you. It starts raining and it's sunny again, it's hot, it's humid, everything at once.
Due to the rain, it was really hard climbing out the rock. But we want to get a nice shot with the drone, so we did and tried and we managed to do it. Oh yeah, this looks good.
To the city streets, we began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings.
After our little adventure,
We headed back to the car, got ourselves some breakfast.
we thought now it will be a little bit more relaxed and chill, but no. We went on the craziest hike ever.
It was so exhausting and it felt like a boot camp out of a military class.
It took us 2 hours to go down
And we couldn't thought about the way back up.
because it was so crazy warm. The refreshment was the water, which waited for us at the end of our hike. We really enjoyed it.
The way up was way more exhausting, but we finished so much faster than on the way down. And once we were back up, it felt like an accomplishment and we were so happy and glad to be back in our van.
We made it! Due to the earthquake, we changed our plan, so we are not driving on the East Coast.
And for travelers, please keep in mind when the road closes on the mountains, because we didn't and we couldn't reach our initial Airbnb, so that's why we had to book another one spontaneously in the mountains and had to return back.
We had our last dinner together.
And we enjoyed Taiwanese beer.
On our last day, we just drove.
It took us about 7 hours to go back to Taipei.
In conclusion, we can say you should definitely check out Taiwan.
It's really super easy and convenient to travel around. The landscapes are beautiful.
Taiwanese people are so kind.
The food is amazing.
And with that, see
See you in Taiwan.